Welcome to Parnell Park for this Go Ahead Dublin Senior Football Championship clash of Castleknock and Whitehall Colmcille. It's the second round for both of these two teams. They had reasonable starts as well. Whitehall Colmcille won their first game against Round Towers of Lusk 220 to 1-8. Castleknock beat Lucan Sars 216 to 111 in their first match. Lots of games going on across the county today. We'll try and keep you in touch with as many of them as we possibly can, but our camera will focus on this clash between Castleknock and Whitehall Colmcille. Another game to come later on. That's Ballyboden St Enda's up against Ballymun Kickham's, and we'll preview that in due course. Coleman Goggins is with me. Coleman, good conditions for football. It's not too hot and there's a nice breeze.
Yeah, sleeping bag with me was here from last night, yeah, so conditions maybe a little bit breezier here this afternoon than it was yesterday evening. Certainly in the second game the breeze had died off totally, but fine for playing football. Pitch looks well, and two teams who've racked up decent scores in their opening fixtures of the championship, so defensively it'd be interesting to see what way both teams set up to try and curtail the attacking prowess of both teams, but then also from an attacking point of view, can they open up, expose the opponent and try and get those goals which are so critical in championship football.
A win doesn't guarantee you your spot in the quarterfinals today, but certainly you'd have 1 foot in the knockout stages. Whitehall Colmcille on 2 points, Castleknock second on 2 points. They're separated on scoring difference at the moment. Round Towers of Lusk and Lucan Sarsfield sitting third and fourth. They're both winless. Obviously those two play this weekend, and that's going on at 5:30 in Balgriffin today. So they'll be interested spectators in this match and perhaps watching before they head off and maybe checking it out on the phone on their way up. What kind of game are you expecting?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Like, Whitehall have come a distance over the last number of years. Anthony Holly is looking after him, guy who would have represented Dublin underage. He's a good eye on the game as such, and then they've got this talent coming through, the likes of Lee Gannon. Cormac Costello's been around a while. Owen O'Donnell in the middle of the field's a big powerful unit, so they're a little bit where longer time on the go than Castleknock, but a little bit where Castleknock were a couple of years ago, where they've this young team blending in with some of the older guys that they have, a lot of pace, a lot of ability to get scores that puts them in the frame of trying to push through the group, get into quarterfinals and seeing if they can progress from there and sneak into semi-final, and then you don't know where they're at. Castleknock obviously without their talisman in Kieran Kilkenny, so they have to find scores somewhere else, where they did prove the last day that they've certainly got the ability to do that. I'm probably leaning a little bit towards Whitehall based on the forward ability and scoring abilities of Cormac Costello against the absence of Kieran Kilkenny, but Castleknock, you get 100% from them all the time. They're young, enthusiastic, they've been county finalists before, so they'd love to get back to that stage again and see if they could go one further actually in terms of a result. So it'll be an interesting game, interesting matchup, very fast I imagine. Maybe not as physical as when you have an Affine and a St Jude's like we had last night, but there'll be no quarter after given, I imagine.
Two teams that have many dual players as well. They actually met recently in Senior 2 hurling. Try and explain to me how you set up without Kieran Kilkenny from the Castleknock point of view, because you're not just missing a player, you're kind of missing a linchpin. You're missing a guy that you can nearly build a game plan around. Yeah,
going to be controversial here. They're probably fortunate and they probably didn't have him for a huge amount of time. Yeah. He hasn't played a championship match and gone missing. They haven't ran through a couple of championship games, and then you're trying to slot Kieran Kilkenny in. So they're probably well attuned to playing without him. So absolutely they miss him, but maybe not to the degree of somebody who's been within the team and then has been gone, because your fulcrum of everything happens around what Kieran Kilkenny does, where he is positioned, how he gets on the ball, what he can create. We've seen last night in particular with Nafina that ability to get ball away very quickly, fast hands, fast feet, quick passing. That's what Kieran Kilkenny brings to this Castleknock team. So maybe without him they're a yard behind in terms of that speed of thought, but they've been so long without him probably this year that they'll get on fine, albeit he'd be a huge addition if he was around, no doubt.
We're about to throw in our referee, by the way, is Danny Harrington. The first of 2 live games on Dubs TV today. We'd love to hear from you via the hashtag GoAheadDSF1. And don't forget, if you want to get all the games to pop up automatically, just subscribe to our YouTube channel. The breeze, by the way, is kind of a little bit swirly. It's blowing down towards the golf course end. And, well, there's quite an amount of young talents out there. Both of these teams have collected titles at underage levels. Castleknock contested a senior final a couple of years ago. Whitehall Colmcille, there's kind of 2 generations of players in this. One that won a minor A county championship, but one that won a minor C. Cormac Costello among the players in that team.
Yeah, Sean Whitehall have dropped Sean Foran in front of the goal there. The breeze is favouring Whitehall first half here, playing into the golf course end, so it'll be interesting to see if they try and utilise him. Big strong guy, drop a few balls in and see if you can get the likes of Cormac Costello or somebody else spinning off him to pick up a break maybe. So be interesting to see if they use this tactic.
Remember, the Go Ahead Dublin Senior Club Football Championship contains groups of 4 and the top 2 go through to the quarterfinals. It's competitive, to say the least. Forker takes it up, recycles it. Kevin Kinlan, one of those players who's been around a long time. Dermot Rowe from County Roscommon, but very much a Castleknock man now. Here's Tom Shields. We've seen this over the years. They love to run the ball. Sen and Forker, they're good at it too. It's opening up a bit for Forker. Forker still going. And that's really good defending. And that's Cormac Costello, who followed him all the way. Well, his attacking merit is well known, but what he did in defence there was outstanding.
Yeah, I won't say he's been criticised, but that's a side of his game that's improved over the last number of years. That work rate, getting back, helping out, something that's come through obviously from his inter-county playing days. But not only happy to get tackled away, he's also trying to get himself back into the play, and unlucky then that his out ball just went over the top and out over the sideline.
Owen O'Donnell, now a county footballer. No surprise when he was called up. Got some game time against Cork as well. That's a good take out in front, trying to turn around is Keith Campbell. It's a little bit loose from Campbell, doesn't win it on the second attempt, and it's taken back bravely and strongly by Kevin Kinlan. Tom Shields. Ben Galvin. Put it back into the path of Shields. That's a nice cut inside, but the free out is awarded. Sean Gannon sweeps it somehow to Sean Foran. Foran bottled up. Seamus O'Carroll has started for Castleknock, by the way. O'Carroll, another man out there who's played inter-county football for Limerick.
Yeah, I think there's a penalised there for a ruck, I think it was. There was someone bent over the ball protecting it. Just struggling to get away and get into a bit of space, but Castleknock move it quickly.
McDaniels, I think someone went in off their feet there. Ben Galvin at a tight angle, spills it, and that's a fantastic finish. Sawyer got to it.
Brilliant finish. Looked like Galvin was caught, but managed to flick it across the goal. Goalkeeper maybe just caught on the back foot. Threw himself at it, Sawyer, to palm it into the net. Great start for Castleknock. Came out of nothing, came out of the free on the far side of the field where Whitehall had possession. Went into Galvin, turned out his marker, popped the ball across the goal and palmed to the net. Great start, Castleknock.
Fantastic start taken by the full forward Oisin Murray. Looks inside for Owen O'Donnell. Owen O'Donnell trying to get around his man Owen O'Brien. O'Donnell measures and tries to squeeze a point over and does. That's fantastic from Owen O'Donnell, and now you can see why he was called up by Desi Farrell, who will continue to be the Dublin manager, confirmed this week. Yeah,
great news for Dublin that Desi's hanging in for another couple of years. Disappointed how it would have ended this year, but gives him opportunity to look again next year. But Owen O'Donnell, real pace, power there to turn and pop it over the bar. Great score and a good response.
Dara Scanlon lays it off. Eddie Moran. Moran moves it backwards to Lee Gannon, another man who's worn the colours of Dublin. Rory Kearns, good ball, the underlapping run of Kellett. Finds himself getting it in a good position, Kearns, and then spills it. It was a strong tackle.
Yeah, great block, Tom Quinn. Probably was looking for a top corner goal shot rather than popping it over the bar. Quinn came across and blocked it. Castleknock away again.
Nice turn by Shields. Tommy McDaniels with them all the way. Conor Chalk presented himself as an option, didn't get it. Here's McDaniels. Good ball back to Ben Galvin. Galvin has a go. Can he draw it in enough? Oh, he can. That's a very good score.
Yeah, the umpire had a good look at it, but it was happy enough that it's travelled the right direction. Wasn't so sure from the angle we had here, but it obviously travelled high and over the bar. Kick out given away. Seen last night how important possession off your kick out is. Gives you that opportunity to build an attack rather than handing it straight back to the opposition.
Milmore. The call from Ben Galvin. He's got time, he's got space, he might have a go. We've seen him kick one over from the left. Will he kick one over from the right? Not right now. First wide of the game.
Yeah, looked probably to get away with a couple of steps there. Came back onto his right foot. Maybe not as clinical on the right side versus the left shot he had a minute ago. But the runners causing Whitehall a problem early on here. We've seen Cormac Costello coming back the field to win a turnover. A lot of forwards having to drop deep to try and help out. It's those runners from deep that they just need to get to grips with early on here.
Tony O'Sullivan got his hand on the ball there, just couldn't soak up the possession. Here's Rob Shaw. Back to Shaw. Shaw. Good score.
Yeah, played underage with Dublin setups. Rob Shaw, very strong, well able to kick a score. Again, it's coming from deep there. So when there's players being handed on, you've got to get back in around the numbers to try and block up that space. And at the minute, Whitehall are just a bit at sea around who should be tracking who and leaving guys free that are allowing the space then to be created for the likes of Shaw to come through and get a score.
That's a fantastic take. Costello wanted it. Now he does get it from Eddie Moran. Costello with the diagonal, looking for O'Donnell. I should clarify, Owen O'Donnell. There's a few of them out there. Dermot Rowe. Any ball in. Castleknock have defended it pretty well so far. Charging out of defence was Forker. It's a little bit of a loose pass. Milmore. Again they go long, it's 2-on-2. Costello takes it, doesn't turn. If he did, Castleknock were in trouble. And that's some fantastic soccer style defending. Just booting it away was Kieran Murphy. And taking it now is Kevin Kinlan. The space is opened up. Shaw's with him, Shaw wants it, he's already kicked one. Back inside to Kinlan. Running onto it, Dermot Rowe. McDaniels doesn't catch it right, and it's a good save by Stephen Lawless. Well, not a good save, but good goalkeeping. Secured the possession calmly, found a teammate.
Yeah, awkward hop, but great defending from Kieran Murphy at the other end. We've seen a great block from Tom Quinn. The other corner back came out, won the ball, gets it away for Castleknock. So 1-on-1, the guys are able to defend back there early on, certainly.
Kellett. Recycles, Dara Scanlon. Kellett continued his run. Good take. Kellett moves it backwards, running onto it. Tony O'Sullivan. Great ball, great catch, Cormac Costello. Rob Shaw just standing in his way, but I think Costello will pop this one over anyway.
One of those questions, when you get a mark like that, should you be allowed mark the spot the mark was taken, a bit like the Australian rules, or should it allow where, the 10 metres or 13 metres back from the ball? Good score, Costello.
Yeah, 8 minutes and 5 scores. It's been entertaining. I appreciate you don't just judge entertaining on how many scores are in a match, but there has been some good football as well. They're both working incredibly hard. Here's Tom Quinn. Spills it. Costello. Sweeping back there was Owen O'Brien, the experienced fullback. He's fouled free out.
Yeah, setting a great example. Cormac Costello, corner forward. He's working hard. He was backtracking back. He turned over a ball. Unlucky that it was a boot put to it, just took him away. But a great example for those around him, around the work rate required to get a result today.
Shaw. Outside to Murphy. Intercepted. Milmore trying to sidestep around Shaw. Somehow got it away to Sean Gannon. O'Sullivan. He's found Keith Campbell. Whitehall trying to work a goal here, and again it's just hacked away by Kieran Murphy.
Yeah, just a little bit unsure who the pass should have gone to. Costello was to his right. He had someone in front of him, went probably the wrong option in putting the pass in front. If he'd gone to Costello, he probably had the bit of a better angle to take a shot at it, managed to work a 45 out of it. But again, better work, loose pass from Rob Shaw, turns it over. That possession element, you can hear both sidelines shouting, hold the ball, hold the ball. Obviously you're under pressure when you don't have the ball, so when you are in possession of it, you need to make sure the final passes, and certainly not give it away only 50 yards out from your own goal, where you're then struggling to get back to set up your defensive structure.
Costello lining up the 45. The breeze is at his back. Costello sails it over.
Two on the bounce for Costello. Great kick off the ground. Strong delivery from the foot before that one, and a great kick on the 45. You mentioned the breeze behind him. It's definitely helpful to kicking into that goal there. So Whitehall will be delighted that they've trimmed the gap a little bit.
Morven Connolly's been there, he's done that, and he has found Ger McDermott Rowe. Falls out here to Tom Shields. He's wrapped up. Shields trying to get away from Oisin Murray. Forker. Shields. Shaw. Has McDermott Rowe calling for it. He's drifting that one in behind, but that's brilliantly defended by Ty Kellett. Coming out of defence now is Matt Moran. I think it was actually him who intercepted it in the first place. Sean Foran. It's 2-on-1 inside, but Owen O'Donnell bursts off the mark, gets the possession. O'Donnell shaking off the defender. That's fantastic football from Owen O'Donnell. And that's a wonderful score. His second of the match.
Yeah, great play from the fullback. Matt Moran coming out the field there, gets to halfway, then they look for a pass inside. So strong O'Donnell when he won the ball there. Looked like he was fouled. Referee didn't appear to think so. Had to engineer a bit of space and then swung it over the bar. Two great scores he's kicked so far in the game, and we're 12 minutes, 11 minutes on the clock.
He's the new Teddy McCarthy, playing championship football and hurling all in one season. What a surging run this is.
Great work.
And then it's spilled. Yeah, fantastic defence, and popping his hamstring, or well, certainly damaging his leg, Kevin Stevenson.
Yeah, he did so well. Hung in, got the hand to knock the ball away, but just looks like he's cramped up either in calf or hamstring. Not good the way he's moving there.
Oisin Murray is also down.
Just scanning the pitch there, looks like Connor Chalk that started there, 18. Castleknock, who was in full forward there, just spotted it coming out with Matt Moran. Not sure who he's in for, but we'll see if we can pull a number.
But Chalk has represented Dublin at minor grade as well. Like so many of these players, has represented Dublin either in hurling or football at underage or senior. Owen O'Donnell, very much a full-back in hurling, but he can play anywhere. He's played up top for Whitehall, Colmcille. As we can see on the football pitch today, he can play anywhere there as well. Carrying it out, Tony O'Sullivan. Castleknock backed off and eventually ran into the referee. It was a good tackle.
Probably the best tackle of the day there from the referee.
Cormac Costello. This is really good work from Whitehall, Colmcille. Keith Campbell moves it back. Tony O'Sullivan. Lovely ball. Running onto that was Ty Kellett, the marketing and innovation student. Fists it to Eddie Moran. Eddie Moran going around the houses. O'Sullivan recycles back. Sean Gannon. Gannon going low. It's a good ball. A really clever pass. And that's a free in. Yeah. And probably a card to follow.
Yeah, great work, Lee Gannon. He showed 3 times. I'm not quite sure how he ended up in the full forward line, but he showed right, came back across left, and then came directly out looking for the ball. So the work rate again, for watching and understanding the movement within it. Often the first ball isn't going to come your way, so it does take 2 or 3 moves to get yourself free, get yourself a bit of position, and give the option to the guy out the field on the ball. There's nothing worse than looking up and seeing nothing happening. Gives Castleknock a nice chance to pop it over.
Looking for his third. And now he scored a mark, a 45 and a free.
Good response from Whitehall, 1-2 to a point down after 7 minutes. Kicked 4 on the spin there to tie up the game. Wind certainly significant in terms of Castleknock having to work that bit harder to get the ball away, but great pressure from the forwards all the time. Castleknock are coming out.
They ran out of room there. It's a line ball to Whitehall. Colmcille, fantastic work, great pressure put on that Castleknock backline.
Yeah, certainly when a kick goes short like that, you really got to squeeze up on it. You're at a level below, obviously, in terms of inter-county standards. So not everyone is going to be as comfortable as in the ball as you'd expect at maybe at inter-county level. So there's a huge opportunity when the ball goes short, and I appreciate the wind is strong, so you don't want to be thumping it to the middle of the field either. Gives Whitehall a great chance in Costello.
He was unlucky, but it is wide. Costello, who was in good scoring form in the last round as well, scored 11.7 from place balls in their opening match. Scored 3 goals against Castleknock in hurling recently.
Yeah, I think there's 8 crossover between the hurling and the football. They're unbeaten in hurling so far in championship. Travelling well, obviously, in the football, that they've 1 game played. So there's huge progress across the 2 codes for the club.
Connolly gets caught in the breeze, trying to get up to it. There was McDermott Rowe, but it's taken by Whitehall. Colmcille. Tony O'Sullivan has a runner. Millmore moving in front, or Rory Kearns, a beggar pardon. He goes for it himself. Tony O'Sullivan. Connolly gets it in hand.
Look perfect, just not enough legs on it. He was being encouraged from the sideline here to have a go at it, but turns it back over. Gives Castleknock a chance to seek out a score. 10 minutes without one at this stage.
And that's intercepted. Sean Gannon wins the free. Gannon moves it quickly. Owen O'Donnell in acres of space, completely unmarked. He'll be able to retrieve this one. And gets a free in. It just bounced over him, but he, again, like all the rest of the Whitehall Colmcille players today so far, worked incredibly hard to get back on it and won the free.
Yeah, just rushed the pass to him. He was free. There was no one marking him, so if the ball dropped closer to him or into his chest, he was going to bear down on goal, and he was ably supported. There was a couple of guys with him, just a little bit overcooked, dropped short, but then goalkeeper and defender decided that best take him down rather than play the ball. Gives Costello a chance to nail 4 from 5 place balls.
Which he does. Owen O'Donnell must make you feel quite inferior as just a normal run-of-the-mill inter-county player, that he can do it at both levels and both codes and do it so well.
He'd make me feel inferior playing PlayStation, I'd say, but look, we won't go there.
Yeah. I think there will be an Owen O'Donnell PlayStation game eventually. And he's fantastic in the commentary box as well. Not to make you feel completely insecure. Then again, you were singing Marcus's praises all day today.
Your comes. You've real quality working with you. Really. We're bringing your standard up.
Kevin Kinlan inside. Sawyer, who scored the goal. Chalk. That's a decent ball. Is that a decent finish? Yes, it is.
Yeah, big score from Ben Galvin. Mentioned they're 10 or 12 minutes without one, so it's important that they got themselves back into the game a little bit. He's lively up front, constantly on the move, looking for those balls. Managed to free himself up that time further out from goal. Yeah, important score for Castleknock, particularly against the breeze. Soft free given away on the kick out.
This isn't the only game going on at the moment. We'll try and get you up to date with everything else at half time. Rory Kearns. Kearns bobbing and weaving, charging forward. Little tug back there from Chalk, but he got away with it. Too much on the pass and intercepted brilliantly by Tom Quinn. Back to help out was Tommy McDaniels. And that's a foul on O'Carroll. Drop deep to win the ball there, O'Carroll, but ideally you'd want him closer to goal.
Yeah, but again, both teams, you mentioned it, the endeavour and work rate, that there's no one holding position as such. You've mentioned it before that the numbers mean nothing anymore as positions. It's that fluidity and movement around the place and having guys comfortable. So you're only as strong as the weakest link within team sport like this. So great work by both teams in trying to nullify the opponent, but also do their own work and creating scores.
Shields closed down by the runner Sean Ford and gets the pass away. O'Carroll. O'Carroll went down the channel, but it turned out to be a blind alleyway.
I'm not sure if he was expecting a free. He seemed to stop and look and wasn't quite sure what was going on, and it turns over very quickly for Whitehall.
Sean Gannon. Tony O'Sullivan. Ty Kellett. It was the obvious pass. It was the right decision. Eddie Moran. Don't think he's caught that one right. It's a wide.
Yeah, he's hung at the touchline here beside us, Eddie Moran. He's keeping space and then just drifted in towards the D, but I fancied his chances. Just pulled it to the left, second wide for Whitehall.
Kilmacud Crokes 6 points to 3 up against Ballantyre St John's at the moment. Kilmacud Crokes, the Dublin and Leinster champions. Shaw. Shaw surging up the park. Again, he's chased down. Great work from Keith Campbell. Galvin got it outside. And that's a free in.
Yeah, a little bit overzealous from Lee Gannon that time. Cormac Costello there to help him out, so probably looking to shepherd down the line rather than hand over a free. Great drive and run from Rob Shaw before that.
And 22 minutes gone, and against the breeze, Castleknock will actually be, I would suggest, relatively happy with the position they're in this match. McDermott Rowe. They'll try and make that position a little bit better. Good ball to McDaniels. Good score by McDaniels.
Great score, but it was the ball that sets up there's two Whitehall Colmcille players dropping space there. Finds the eye of the needle, pops the ball through. McDaniels turns, pops it over the bar. All about the pass. Great patience on the ball. Sometimes they're forced. Great response again from Castleknock just to keep the scoreboard ticking, as you mentioned, against that breeze.
It's going to drop towards Kellett. He can't make it his. Castleknock have it back. Tom Shields. Chalk moves it back to McDaniels. Well, it's safe to say the one from the right was better than the one from the left.
Yeah, with that inside forward line, they've all tagged the score on a goal, couple of points through Galvin. McDaniel has one to his name too, so they're potent enough, their movement is good, they're looking for ball all the time.
And it bounces kindly for Sean Gannon. He read it really well. Gannon to equalise. Great point.
Yeah, probably a misread there, just costed him a step as he dropped back there, sending Forker. Allowed Sean Gannon just to spin out in front, turn and pop it over the bar. Great score.
Dublin minor last year, Sean Gannon. Milmore. Tom Quinn. Quinn into the corner. Just slips through the hands of Galvin, but he's still battling for it. It might fall here for Sawyer. Goes to ground. Referee says play on. Castleknock are protesting. While they're doing that, Whitehall Colmcille bring it out of defence.
Yeah, I think they've a right to protest there. He turned on the jets. That time Sawyer looked to get away from Sean Giles. Giles pulled across him. Didn't seem to make any contact with ball. Referee deemed it free. No free. I think they're unfortunate there.
Here's Gannon.
And almost, I won't say the ultimate penalty, but Gannon was looking to tag one on there. referee wants to have a chat with
Tom Shields. He's having a chat with at the moment now. He's going over to his teammate.
Yeah, I think they had a shout for definitely a free. Might get to see it again at half time, but he did look to nudge the ball away from Giles that time and certainly came across him.
Just a quick chat with Tommy McDaniels there. No cards brandished or anything like that. Don't think we've had any cards yet. Actually, we haven't had. I thought we'd get one earlier on, but it was just a ticking as opposed to a card. That's a magnificent one-handed catch. Here's Owen O'Donnell. Back outside, running through Lee Gannon. Gannon has found Keith Campbell. Campbell tries to hook it over and does. It looked like his route to goal was blocked, so he went outside and popped it over magnificently.
Yeah, arguably the first time we've seen Lee Gannon coming with that burst of speed that he was certainly engineered a couple of times for Dublin during the inter-county season. Real pace, one-handed catch, give and go, created the space, popped the ball outside, took a late hit. I'm surprised the referee hasn't looked to speak to the deliverer of the shoulder, the late hit as such. But it really powerful run, creates the score, pushes Whitehall in front. First time they've led today.
Marvin Connolly in absolutely no rush. That's a foul and a free out. He's frustrated because there was no one close to him. Shields eventually dropped and received it. Shaw leaves it behind, regathers. McDermott Rowe looking for McDaniels and finding him. McDaniels squeezes it over, his second of the game.
Yeah, there's definitely scores in there if they can get ball in front of McDaniels, Galvin and Sawyer. Matt Moran was trying to push him onto the left side, came back onto his right, so there's opportunity for Castleknock, but it's just about getting the right ball, right pass at the right time.
Owen O'Donnell was felled off the ball. The referee allows play to continue. He might receive it back here. Instead it goes out to Campbell. Campbell miscues his pass to O'Donnell, trying to run onto it as Costello. Costello is brave and somehow comes away with the ball and comes away with a point as well. That's his first from play.
And that's an unbelievable score from Cormac Costello. Looked like he had gone down on ball and was lost it in the tackle, then managed to pick it up, and as he was falling onto the ground again, swung a left boot at it over the bar.
An incredible talent. We could say that of so many players out there today, but Costello and a few others.
It's very much, player on player, so there's no sweeper dropping back in front, so anytime the ball is delivered early, there's huge opportunity for the forwards on both sides.
McDermott Rowe is, well, I was about to say tackled, but it was something more than a tackle. It's a free in for Castleknock. Just a stray arm. And the referee is having a word with Lee Gannon.
It's probably the first card of the day for Lee Gannon. He's highlighting that maybe he's involved in a couple of fouls, but no. The pocket is that deep there. I don't think he can find the card, but I'm sure it's going to come at some stage.
Gannon, who has under 21 football and hurling Leinster titles. County Minor A winner with Whitehall Colmcille in 2018. They've got a good crop of players from that particular team. Gets the pass back to Ger McDermott Rowe. Tries to go along the outside. Sean Foran for company. Back outside to Shaw. Shaw up against Costello. Shaw gets past him. Shaw still going. McDaniels drops, gets it back to Shaw. And it just about has the legs. That's a fantastic score from Rob Shaw, his second of the game.
Yeah, great drive forward, real presence on the ball, lots of strength too. Push past Cormac Costello, then was met again. Followed through to kick a great score against the breeze. Be very happy with how they're tagging on. 1-6, draw game, heading for half time.
Oh, and that's a giveaway, Seamus O'Carroll has to settle for the point. It looked just for, no, it's not even a point, it's kicked wide. Well, it looked for a second like they were going to gift them a goal. In the end, they really are let off.
Oh, what an opportunity. Poor kick out. I think it was Lee Gannon maybe was caught in his heels just outside the D. Snapped in front of him, maybe just didn't control it quick enough to get a shot away. Had to try and settle himself, gave Gannon a chance to loop back around him. And then the finish after that, probably not one he'll want to look back on.
Well, credit to Gannon for getting back and putting the pressure on O'Carroll. Here is O'Carroll. Sawyer, the goal scorer, goes to ground free in.
Yeah, soft enough. It's one of those ones when you're coaching teams, you're asking them for a free not to be given when they're going away from goal. There's times where someone is turning towards goals that maybe there's a reason to put a hand out, pull a jersey or slow them down, but when they're winning the ball, heading towards the sideline, stand up, be strong and start shepherd them away from goal rather than giving away a free. Gives an opportunity again to Castleknock to go one to the good, heading towards the half-time break.
It's a decent strike by McDermott Rowe. Can Whitehall Colmcille find an equaliser before the half-time break?
Yeah, not only their first score from a place ball, everything else has come from play to now for Castleknock, so they're making inroads when they get chances. Clear that they can kick frees too. Great take.
Fantastic interception from Rory Kearns, or beg your pardon, Niall Milmore. Here's O'Carroll. Didn't catch it right. Eddie Moran completely on his own, has to come in to take it. Eddie Moran and Matt Moran on his right side, the brothers. Finds his way back to Matt Moran. Nice step inside from Kevin Kinlan. Moved out by Chalk. Forker. And that breaks kindly for Whitehall Colmcille.
Yeah, didn't read the pass. He had pointed to go left. He came inside and was expecting him maybe to turn back on himself. Gives it easy possession back over to Whitehall. They might get one last chance to tie it up before the half-time whistle blows.
Sean Giles. Giles, part of a DCU Freshers team that won an All-Ireland this year, beat UCC in the final in Carlow. Costello. And that's half-time, and Whitehall Colmcille trailing by a point against Castleknock, 1-7 to 9 points. Before we look at the highlights, Coleman, what have you made of it?
Yeah, it's been an interesting game, lots of scores. I mentioned it's player on player rather than any sweeper systems or huge defensive lines that they're trying to break through. So when the ball is moved early, there's opportunity for both sets of forwards, and that's probably why we're seeing the scoring rate as high as it potentially is there. Good opening half, 1-7 to 9 points. So plenty of scores, plenty of opportunity for forwards.
Well, let's take a look at the first half highlights.
Yeah, but what an opener for Castleknock. You can't ask for anything better than a goal. Did brilliant to get his body in there. He was well behind the ball when it was flung across by Galvin, so did well to get a hand on it to palm it into the net. Owen O'Donnell showed his power and pace a couple of times in the opening half. He was the response. But then a couple of points from play came through Galvin. Great shot off his left side here to stretch out the gap. And then centre back Rob Shaw, who's been really strong. Probably picking up Cormac Costello at times, but I mentioned players making late runs that weren't being picked up by Whitehall, and at that stage it was 6 points, 5 points to 1 in terms of 1-2 to 1 after only 6 minutes. Then came a great response from Whitehall. There was a mark from Cormac Costello, followed up by a 45, and then it was O'Donnell again from play. Had it a 1-2 to 4 points after 12 minutes of play, so Whitehall were growing into the game. A couple of Costello frees. Had them in point by one, ahead by one. Great work in terms of tracking back as Costello was tagging over those scores and just keeping it moving along for Whitehall. But Galvin, he's been lively throughout, switched over to the far side of the field. Wasn't sure if it was going to hang. But it did, dropped over the bar, tied it up again. 10 minutes left in the half. And then Castleknock dropped ahead, it went in front again. McDaniels, his first score. Another good response from Whitehall. Great score out from the stand side. Yeah, I can see where referee maybe didn't give it. There was maybe the slip that came after the pull of the ball across it. But almost from that then was a goal chance. Great run from Lee Gannon through the middle. Turns and pops it over the bar from Keith Campbell. Had Whitehall up by a point 5 minutes towards half time, but the better response came from Castleknock towards the end of the half. Outscored them by 3 points to 1. Brilliant score there from McDaniel, his second. Just drifting across the goal, bad hands, throws it back, but this is brilliant from Costello. Goes down hard on the ball, manages to pick it up. Looks like he's losing footing again, but swings across to send it over. Great score. Had them up by a point. Mentioned they closed out the game well in the first half. Castleknock, Rob Shaw, Jersey half up, half down, really demonstrated great strength. Got himself free again here. Sends over his second of the day, and then it's wrapped up with a free to leave it at 1-7 to 9 points at half time. So Castleknock against the breeze will be delighted where they're sitting a point to the good. Whitehall probably took them a little bit longer to get to grips with that Castleknock attack, but there's definitely scores inside forward lines if ball can be delivered early.
Half time, Whitehall Colmcille down by a point against Castleknock, 1-7 to 9 points. Other games going on across Dublin today. We'll try and get you updated on those as we continue throughout the afternoon. Don't forget, coming up later, it is Ballymun against Ballyboden St Enda's. That one throwing in at 5:30, and we'll be getting to that after we have the conclusion of this game. I can tell you that Kilmacud Crooks lead Ballantyre St John's by 9 points to 5 at half time in a game that's also going on at the moment. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in a few minutes with the second half. Stay with us.
Just when they come down in that area, just talk about it. I mean, my friend is mostly out, but he actually, you found maintenance there, you don't be going jerking there. Now it looks a little bit. I'm just seeing it going up and down and up and down. And going, oh, yeah, pisses me off now, to be honest, because normally I say I just have that hand free. Because I used to do Infinity Focus, keep it at about F8. Yeah, yeah. And I'm all the way through. I need to go tight. Okay. Generally, you play well. But the problem is that this is changing over our veins. It is the weather. But I'm seeing it up and down. I know, yeah. It's fast enough to do it.
Yeah, no, it's good. He's kind of worked it. Nice little system. Yeah, no, he kind of. I remember the first time, a few times he came up and did it with him. Now but he's got it. He's got it working nicely now. Mains power, the whole thing. Yeah. Nice little. Yeah. He kind of slowly but surely he's fine. Yeah, I know, fair enough. I mean, if he's been doing it a while now, so makes it easier for him. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't. Colin. Pierce. That's why they're not here today. He's the best cover I've ever heard. He's true. He's Belgian, but basically he's sitting beyond the gig doing the rest of the year. Okay. So he's taking care of the stream side of things, setting up the pages. Okay. But actual physical operation of the information. So like if you ever have two cameras, like you can switch in the graphics and all that stuff. Good. Here you are back again.
You're back out nice and quick. Happy days. I like your style, boys. Get the fuck out of Dodge. Very sharpish. I'm tempted now, person to say to do the all-over.
It just saves you all. I mean, you just like it. And those lenses. You do. Huh? Cost of them are. They can do what they want. Exactly. Okay. He said, "Don't worry, so another one will pop up within an hour." He said,
See, wait.
About to begin the second half of Castleknock against Whitehall Colmcille. The winner of this game, Coleman, is in a very good position. They'll have played 2 games of 3 and will be on 4 points.
Yeah, look, it's those middle games. It's a critical game because it gives you the opportunity to position yourself going into the last game of knowing exactly where you stand rather than relying on another for results. So 4 points in the bag would certainly put you in a position of coming out of the group. Gives you an opportunity at a quarter-final in Dublin Championship. So, hugely significant in terms of result. Big press for Castleknock now is they've played very well into the wind. It's, matching that and improving on its second half, letting ball in early. And seeing if they can really put a question on.
It's rare that a team will not qualify for the next stage on 4 points.
It's a competitive group, so it's going to be hard even round 3 to pick up. So 4 points, I'd certainly see in a very good position. Then it comes into scoring differences, results, so it's going to be tight to the finish here. There's no doubt about it. They're well, evenly matched teams.
Well, the group will be very clear by this evening because Round Towers Lust play Lucan. That game is on at 5:30. So they'll be watching this with a bit of eagerness, a bit of anticipation. Kevin Kinlan. Forker laid it off well as well. Here's Ger McDermott Rowe. Castleknock run it so well. They have the breeze at their back in the second half. Coleman, I'm not sure the way they play, does that make a whole pile of difference?
No, not really, but it does give you opportunity when you're, maybe a couple of yards further out from goal. But sometimes the team against the breeze plays that bit better because of the running game, and it's space. Because with the wind behind you, what happens to your half-back line is you drift almost with the wind, so you're being brought up, which gives that space in behind. So sometimes that playing with the wind is almost more favourable, or against the wind is almost more favourable. But the way the inside lines have been operating here, there's going to be scoring opportunities for both sets. It's just a matter of who's able to be that bit more clinical in front of goal.
Well, Costello's lining up the free. Struck them well in the first half. Scored 2 frees of 45, a mark, and a very, very good point from play. His point from play, one of the best in the championship so far. Has the elevation and the accuracy. And we're all square again.
Yeah, that's a great kick into that breeze that we've mentioned. Ties it all up again. You know, lethal from place balls. So there's messages there for Castleknock. Don't give away a fee inside that 45. Make them work hard for their scores. And if they're good enough to kick it, great. But work them hard enough rather than handing it over, because Costello's going to hit them all day long.
Connolly hangs it up. Bounces kindly. Taken well by Tony O'Sullivan. Who's that going to break to? Scarpering over is Tom Quinn. Does enough. Then taken by Murphy. Shields just waited for the runner to arrive. That runner was Kevin Kinlan. McDermott Rowe. McDermott Rowe trying to turn away from Oisin Murray. Squeezes one down the line, looking for Sawyer, and he has found him. Owen Sawyer wins a free in, which is a really big bonus because he had 3 players around him and the odds were against him getting a kind of a positive outcome there.
Yeah, he's light versus where you see maybe some of the club footballers now. They've a little bit of strength and conditioning behind them, a couple of more years than maybe Sawyer has at the minute, but he's showing hard for the ball. He's holding runs as long as he can, so he's not getting it too far out from goal. Working real hard. Did well to not only secure possession there but win the free. Hands it back to McDermott Rowe, gives him an opportunity for Castleknock to push out in front by 1 again.
McDermott Rowe looking to score his second from a free today. As you mentioned in the first half, Castleknock before his free, all of their points had come from play. That is perfectly measured.
What Costello can do one end of the field can be replicated. Great kick by McDermott Rowe. Substitution there for Whitehall with Keith Campbell, I think it is, leaving the field on the far side. First bit of fresh legs, great win.
Intercepted by Castleknock, making the run and wanting it as Galvin doesn't get it. And that's sailed over. That's an exquisite score. Brilliant stuff from Kevin Kinlan.
Yeah, great take, and then followed it through with the drive. So you have the wind holding up the ball, a tiny touch. Works for Kinlan to come on to the pace, drives into the space and kicks it over the bar. 2 great scores.
Is it okay for me to say I'm actually delighted it's this cool in Parnell Park today? I'm sure the players are as well. The heat is very, very tough to deal with. Here's Tom Shields. Moved inside to McDaniels. McDaniels into the pocket, Chalk. Lobs it wide.
Yeah, it's a pity. He probably had the chance before that Chalk, rather than shoveling it off, passed it across to Tommy McDaniels. Maybe could have taken his own score before he had the opportunity there. Drops wide again. That's the fourth wide for Castleknock.
Good take by Costello, calls the mark. Looking for O'Donnell, or I beg your pardon, inside there was Enda O'Donnell. Well, I was right, actually. I thought it was Owen, but it was Enda.
You're bound to get one of them.
If you say O'Donnell or Moran, you have a good chance of getting it right out there for Whitehall, Colmcille. Or Gannon.
I think it was probably wrong pass from Costello. He had someone free here underneath us to the left side, went for the longer pass into O'Donnell and turns over again to Castleknock. Just a little bit better on the ball. Started the second half here, Castleknock.
Enda O'Donnell played under 20 hurling with Dublin. But like his brother, a really, really decent footballer as well. Speaking of decent footballers, here's Sawyer. And there's an example of just how decent he is.
That's a great score. He's operating on this side, left side as they're attacking, I suppose, down the field, Castleknock, but he went all the way across the field there, wins the ball, comes back and knocks it over the bar. Good score. That inside line have been good. McDaniel, Galvin and Sawyer causing real problems for Whitehall.
Owen O'Brien receives it back, or Matt Moran. Here's O'Donnell, Enda, trying to step around Kieran Murphy. They need a score, and they haven't got it. It's wide off the boot of Dara Scanlon.
Whitehall creep up to 4-on-4 on the wides too. Just not happening up front for them at the minute. Costello's a small bit deeper. He's trying to win ball in the middle of the field and feed it in, where they'd probably prefer him to be a little bit closer to goal.
Waiting for it was Owen O'Brien. Here's Tom Shields. McDermott Rowe had Shaw inside, just took it on himself instead. McDermott Rowe using that breeze brilliantly. His first from play, his third overall. Great score from the Roscommon man.
Great score, and you know, the blink of an eye, 4 points on the spin. They push it out to a 4-point advantage, and now Whitehall are the ones being asked the hard questions. Too much space. They've made a couple of changes. I think they've swapped Lee Gannon into the full back line to see if they can curtail that. Consequence of that is there's now a little bit of space in front of McDermott Rowe.
Costello moves it outside. Eddie Moran. Owen O'Donnell wants it, gets it. Owen O'Donnell, this will be a settling score for Whitehall Colmcille, and they've got it. He always stands up, whether it's football or hurling. When his team needs him, Owen O'Donnell always stands up, and he did there as well.
Yeah, good response. O'Donnell, he's moving well inside. You know, he's probably not getting enough ball early enough to take on his direct opponent, but every time he's got ball in that full forward line, he's engineered a score from it. A good response for Whitehall, brings it back to 3. A guy down injured over on the far side, not quite sure who it is. Looks like he's hurt an ankle or knee.
Well, the thing with Owen O'Donnell is he hasn't actually got too many possessions today, but as you say, when he has got it, he's affected the game. That's 3 points from play now.
Yeah, and they just haven't left it in early enough to him. Certainly in the first half they were trying to utilise him, but there's that little bit of space now in front of him. Mentioned with the breeze behind Castleknock, they're a little bit further up the field, so there is space for O'Donnell. It's getting the ball, using it right, and then getting it to the guys who are on fire. And inside line for Castleknock are certainly displaying that, but O'Donnell for Whitehall, well able to offer a score, and a disappointing end to the game for
Sean Foran.
For Sean Foran, did he leave there?
He's replaced by Luke McCarthy. Well, not too far to travel home for Whitehall Colmcille after this game, but will it be a happy journey? It's a surging run by Luke McCarthy, not long on. Good to get his hands on it early. Lee Gannon. Free in.
Yeah, mimicking a little bit what Castleknock were doing first half. It's those runners coming at pace that cause the problem, because you're shifting across to try and get a block on. You know, their pace in terms of the attacker has the momentum, so you're coming across trying to react to their speed. Late boot in, gives Costello another chance from a free, probably dropped this one out of his hand. So from 4 points, chance to trim it to 2, still 20 minutes to play, so anybody's game still.
Costello, as you would expect, puts that one over. He's now on 4 frees, a 45, a mark and a point from play. He's not having a bad game, it's fair to say.
No, but important for Whitehall that he has a good game. He's that influential for them. He needs to be clipping scores.
Connolly. Luke McCarthy tries to get up, but he's beaten to it brilliantly by Ger McDermott Rowe, and he fouls him. Fantastic pass. Tom Shields. He was unbalanced when he struck it, but that's still a good block down. It fell to O'Carroll, just couldn't get through on goal. It's not gone yet. Recycled by Tom Shields. Hit by Kinlan and missed by Kinlan. 5 wides now for Castleknock.
Yeah, Sawyer looking when he came around. Great block. Gotten the ball by Ty Kellett. Almost fell into the path of Peter or of Seamus O'Carroll coming through, but they did well to smother it. It was interesting. We'll talk about it in a second in terms of the kick out. When Castleknock had that kick out, the goalkeeper shout was Roscommon, and where did the ball land? On McDermott Rowe. So probably not the most suspicious call out for a kick, but they won it and almost created a score in.
Yeah, it's not exactly coded, is it?
Not really, but they worked for them.
Gallivan finds Chalk. Can Chalk find a score? That was a really strong tackle. Getting across was Lee Gannon. And a free out because Tommy McDaniels kind of went into the front rather than the side.
Yeah, big hit from Lee Gannon. Really strong. Stripped the ball. Managed to win the free out there. Very strong in the tackle. Great turnover for Whitehall, because that inside line have been causing them problems, but clearly they're asking Lee Gannon to drop back and be a little bit more physical, make it a little bit more difficult for those inside guys.
Carrying it out is Dara Scanlon. Sean Gannon had his hands up. He was in a bit of space. That space has since been closed off. That's a really poor ball. It's intercepted by Tom Shields. Shields trying desperately to make it his, which he does. McDermott Rowe. They'll go for it again. Will they get it again? The answer is yes, and it's another good point by Kinlan.
Yeah, it comes in off the wing each time and clips it over the bar. But again, great pressure on the pass. There's a poor execution of the pass, allows the turnover for Castleknock. So hard to reset when you turn it over halfway out the field and you're not ready for an attack from Castleknock. It's clinical in front of goal. They've been very good second half with the chances they've created.
Great catch. Well done to Sean Gannon, who leapt in the air. Slack marking by Castleknock. It's not like them. Here's Cormac Costello. Costello looking for O'Donnell. Goal or point. He'll go for goal. And he'll get it. What a smasher from Owen O'Donnell.
About getting key men involved in the move. Cormac Costello picks it up 40 yards, 35 yards out from goal. He's not thinking point. He's thinking we're player on player here. We've a chance for goal. Gives it to O'Donnell, who cuts him back inside in his right foot. 1-3. We mentioned every time he touches the ball, something comes out of it. This time Costello, who created a bit of space for him. And O'Donnell blasted to the net. Tied game. Almost a quarter of an hour through this second half.
O'Donnell with his second goal of the championship, scored against Round Towers in the last round, and now has scored against Castleknock here. 1-12 apiece. Making the run off was O'Carroll, didn't come to him. Trying to make it his was Tommy McDaniels. He'll work hard to get it back and does. Turning and twisting, trying to get away from Eddie Moran. That's great work by McDaniels. Chalk moved it on. O'Carroll. Desperately unlucky. He comes back into play. McDaniels. And a second goal, and this time it's for Sawyer. A second goal of the second half. Sawyer is second of the game. And Castleknock stretch it out to a 3-point lead.
Well, first to react with the ball off the upright there. Drops down. McDaniel worked so hard to win the ball out here, then got back in amongst it to pop it across the goal. Sawyer took his time, stuck it into the net. Great response to the O'Donnell goal at the far end of the field. But the opportunity came, the pressure was put on by Lee Gannon, the shot came off the upright. First to react was the Castleknock player, and that extra step gave him the time to pass it to Sawyer, who finishes it to the net. Back into a 3-point lead.
Kilmacud Crokes 9 points, Ballantyre St John's 6 points. Crokes against a strong breeze in the second half there. Crokes, like both of these teams, actually looking for a second win in the championship so far this season. Remember, we'd love to hear from you. You can join the conversation via hashtag Go Ahead DSF1. What have Whitehall Colmcille got by way of a response? They do have plenty of time. Sean Giles. Eddie Moran back to Giles. McDermott Rowe fouls, free in for Whitehall Colmcille. It's taken quickly by Lee Gannon. Owen O'Donnell couldn't quite get it into his orbit.
Yeah, it was dead on. He maybe wasn't sure it was going to drop on him. He maybe half committed, didn't probably fully commit to it. Gets a touch on it and it drops out wide, but it's the right ball. He's definitely the danger man to hit. Rob Shaw maybe has dropped back on him to try and nullify the threat. It's up to Whitehall now to find possession, see if they can punch a few holes, trim that gap once more.
Rob Shaw just loves attack and defence. I saw him marking Costello at times today. He's also scored 2 points at times. Drops on to Owen O'Donnell. McDermott Rowe tries to pick out the pass. It's a poor ball.
Great work from Endo O'Donnell, tracked all the way back with Rob Shaw now, and there's a gap the other side of the field if they can see the gap.
Costello running onto this one is Kellett. It's spilled. Costello's down. He was collided with after the pass was away.
Yeah,
and now Tom Shields is being called over because the referee, in fairness to him, played a good advantage.
Yeah, he did. The space was on that right side of the field. Oisin Murray was in acres of space. When Costello turned, he popped it on one. There was definitely opportunity out the field, but Costello take a late hit. Bob will come back, so it'll still give them an opportunity to move it forward, Whitehall.
I saw him take note of Tom Shields. I
Those
didn't see him
pockets, they're
flash
that deep. I don't
Yeah.
think the card comes out very readily for him, or else he's misplaced it because he's gone through about 3 pockets now, and we still can't see a card.
There it is.
I think it came down his sleeve in the end there.
Yeah. And I remember
No, I thought he was bringing it back for an advantage on the pass from Cormac Costello, but it's not. It's a Castleknock ball.
Yeah, I thought that's what he was doing as well, because he went back to look at that situation between Shields and Costello. Costello's up and running again. That's great news for Whitehall. Colmcille. Ben Galvin inside to Kinlan. McDaniels, Shields, shoveled on by Stevenson. McDaniels squeezes that one over. That's a fantastic score.
No pressure on the ball. Shane, the ball is coming through. Kinlan, every time he gets on it, I'm not quite sure who's his direct opponent is, but he's unchallenged every time he's come onto the ball. And in that instance, when he passed it on to McDaniels, he had so much time to look up, pick the spot, stick it over the bar. Just not enough pressure being applied by Whitehall in that 35-40 metre zone, and they've got a couple of scores from that position across the second half.
Kilmacud Crokes 11 points to 7 up after 45 minutes against Ballantyre St John's. That game also starting at 3:30. Don't forget, coming up after this match live on Dubs TV, we've got Ballymun against Ballyboden. Up in the air like a salmon again was Costello, finding O'Donnell, shoveled it into the path of Oisin Murray, who just couldn't take it with him. Shields trying to bend his back, stealing away with it now is Enda O'Donnell, who wins the free in.
O'Donnell almost got that flick across spot on. He wasn't going to try and lift it, he was just trying to shovel it on, open up the space in front. Costello, great take in the middle of the field. He's probably been asked to do the work of two, catch the ball in the middle of the field, stick it high enough that he can go in and do a 1-2 with himself, but he got the ball away to O'Donnell that time. Engineers a chance from a free, an important opportunity for Whitehall. Haven't managed to score since the goal, so this will bring it back to a 3-point gap with just about 10 minutes left on the clock.
Scanlon has gone off for Whitehall. He has been replaced by Dylan O'Connell. Well, whoever the new Dublin hurling manager is going to be, they're probably watching this game and thinking, Owen, stop playing so well. That's a good score from Costello. I try to explain to people exactly how good Owen O'Donnell is hurling wise. He's one of the best fullbacks out there. He would be an incalculable loss if he was to pick football at intercounty level. Be an incalculable loss to the hurlers, that is.
Yeah, and it's so demanding now, the game, that the dual player, it's so hard to try and play both codes, commit to both managers. Is either manager happy to allow you to work with another manager, not so much work with another manager, but just time away from the game?
Stevenson. Milmore continues the run. Doesn't get it, he was well covered. O'Carroll. Ben Galvin. Stevenson. Galvin. Stevenson. The run is being made by Forker. Stevenson takes it on himself and doesn't quite catch it right.
Yeah, he took it on with a little bit of encouragement from the Whitehall defender who was coming across him, shouting at him to shoot. Took the advice, and maybe it was the wrong advice, maybe better off recycling it, giving himself an opportunity. He's only come onto the field. It was a big 10 minutes here for both teams. You mentioned 4 points would be a great spot to be sat in heading into round 3 of the championship.
Dylan O'Connell making a surging run up top was Matt Moore, and he wasn't spotted. It does come though to Cormac Costello. Owen O'Donnell trying to get under this. A fantastic lean into O'Donnell from Owen O'Brien. Great defending. Himself and O'Brien still tangling off the ball. Tom Shields just gets on with it. Good tackle. Lee Gannon somehow guided it to Luke McCarthy. Tony O'Sullivan. Eddie Moran. Cormac Costello. Costello. Castleknock, look how deep they've dropped. Endo O'Donnell. It's wide. Or is it? No, it's not. It's a good score.
Yeah, I think he got it. I think it was drifting wide, but managed to hang in the wind a little bit. Great score, great work. Again, Cormac Costello, the creator of everything that's gone right for Whitehall. On the ball, he's looking for the right pass every time, looking to try and create opportunities. Gannon came across him there, sliced it over the bar, trims it back to 2, big kick out.
Bounces kindly for Kellett. Cormac Costello. Running onto it, Sean Gannon. Gannon has options left and right, and indeed in front. Possible goal chance here. They've got it. Pushing it home is Tony O'Sullivan. Brilliantly worked goal.
Yeah, brilliantly worked goal. Just seemed to creep up on the right side. Created a little bit of space, overlap, came inside and then popped it across the goal. Comes in and fists it to the net to put them a point to the good. Only a few short minutes ago, 44th minute, they were, or 48th minute, they were 4 points down. They're now a point to the good, a big swing. And again, the kick out, I mentioned the big kick out coming from after the score that Gannon had kicked over. Turned it over outside their own area, and then Whitehall worked a goal scoring opportunity. Buried it to be a point to the good. Goal and 2 points with no answer back from Whitehall puts them a point to the good. Brilliant.
Well, Sean Gannon's point, followed by Tony O'Sullivan's goal, has put Whitehall Colmcille in a very strong position here. Before that, Costello pointed a free. They responded well to McDaniel's last point.
Well won. Great defending. Owen O'Brien came out, got a hand on O'Donnell. First time he's pushed it away from him.
Owen O'Donnell. Look at him go. Somehow guided it into the path of Endo O'Donnell. And they lost it.
Great work, Stevenson. Got a strong hand in. Referee deemed it fair to get away with it. Castleknock coming out.
On the counter attack. Here's Senan Forker at pace. Forker needs support. Has it in the shape of Sawyer. McDermott Rowe. McDermott Rowe just about keeps it under control. Stevenson back inside. Here's O'Carroll. Sends it up. Stevenson, goal. What a game this is. Kevin Stevenson not long off the bench, and he's made quite the impact.
That's remarkable. The goal that Whitehall got after 43 minutes was backed up by a goal by Castleknock. They've got a goal in 53 minutes to put them a point to the good, and back come Castleknock with their own goal. Again, fisted to the net. What a game. Is there another
Here's
goal
Costello.
on here?
O'Donnell wants it. Costello!
Oh, off the line.
And it just goes wide. It's still in play. It's hacked away. It's a 45. They've given up on points, these two.
Unbelievable. It would have been a third goal on the spin there. Costello did everything right, stepped inside, trimmed it across the goal, but a little boot just stopped it from going over the line. Big shoulder, ball drops out for a 45, so Costello will get a chance to narrow the gap to 1 point, but end-to-end stuff, really open. It's, in their first round game, Whitehall hit 220, they're tracking close to that. Castleknock hit 216, they're already on that, so they're big scorelines. I mentioned the way they're defending, that maybe it's given opportunity for the scoreline to build. But from an entertainment point of view, that's been a great second half.
Well, Castleknock have a player down.
I think it's Senan Forker who's prone there at the moment. He's worked so tirelessly both ends of the field. Seems to be full of energy all the time, that he's both able to help out defensively and also put in a shift from an offensive point of view. Costello, I think he's only put one wide from place balls, and that was a sideline, I think, in the first half. So big opportunity. It'll trim it to the narrowest of margin as we head for the final couple of minutes here.
Costello. That's drifting, but it might drop. It does, it stays in play. Shaw couldn't get his hand to it. Well, they're arguing away, but all the while the ball stays in play. The shot came from Sean Gannon. Looked like it was going out. They were already arguing about whether or not it was a 45. It didn't even go out of play. Here's Stevenson. Running onto it, Galvin. Moved it off to Shields. Shields is fouled by McCarthy.
He's been very good, Shields. He's always there when there's a player on the ball who looks short of an option. He seems to come off the shoulder, working tirelessly to give that out ball so that you're not caught in possession. Stevenson had an impact too since coming off the bench. They've given themselves a great chance here. Castleknock.
McDermott Rowe. He has curled that one in enough. He used the breeze well. That's now 3 from frees and 1 from play. And Castleknock lead by 3. But let's not write Whitehall Colmcille off just yet. This game has had more turns and twists than your average roller coaster.
No, and a great response. The goal, then they've tagged the point on. They did the same after their earlier goal in the second half.
Castleknock have made a change. Dara Warnock, who's played Dublin under 20, has come in. And heading off is Seamus O'Carroll. Great kick out. Brilliant catch by Tony O'Sullivan. Owen O'Donnell moves it up for Costello. Spills it, gets it back, goes to ground, wins the free in.
Yeah, he probably just lost control and managed to scoop it up again and was in that bent position when he got hit. So I think the correct decision from the referee in that instance. But 3, great catch in the middle of the field from the kick out. Second pass pops on in front of O'Donnell. Feeds it out to Costello coming at pace there. And while he didn't secure it, Rob Shaw did very well to not allow him get away from him. It was probably the hit that came across that has Costello prone at the moment. That's the referee's decision. But he's been instrumental throughout the game. Worked so hard for Whitehall. So much of the good stuff has gone through him. Time against them, 3 points. They'll certainly look to tag one here, but then it's a matter of winning the next kick out. They have to win the Castleknock kick out and put pressure on it, and I'm not sure Costello's going to be able to see out this game based on the hand gesture to the sideline from the physio.
It's not looking good. And we could be here for a long time looking at the highlights after this game because there has been so many. Ballymun against Ballyboden has a lot to live up to. That's live next here on Dubs TV.
What a great second half. We I won't say I'm being critical, but we're saying about the no sweeper, a lack of a sweeper in the space that's affording forwards, and then the score has been run up because of it. But it just goes to show you, when defenders are asked to defend, many of them are well able to do without that extra help. The help can come back and support them, but it also means that the game is open and we see that amount of scores. Won't be to Whitehall's liking that they're coughing up goals straight after they get their own one. But there'll be time, there'll be minutes here to play still. There's been a couple of injuries across the second half. A couple of minutes will be added for Costello there as he tries to recover. He'll step off the freeze. Fall to Tony O'Sullivan to knock this one over, and then it's a full court press.
Well, the signal was being made to change Costello. They've kept him on the pitch. That's popped over, and that's a 2-point game now with lots of injury time to come.
We mentioned after Sean Gannon's kick that it was a big kick out for Castleknock. This is one that has to be won.
And it's taken well by Forker. Forker looking for McDaniels, who takes it really well. Tugged back by Sean Giles and wins the free in. He's really frustrated.
Yeah, I think he's probably right to stop, and the referee is right maybe to come back. I know McDaniels was thinking he was getting away there, but did so well to use his body to protect the ball, win it, secure the possession. And McDermott Rowe, who's been so good, who's been so good in terms of the place balls in the second half, gets an opportunity here to push it out to 3 once more, and then the question is, can Whitehall work a goal in whatever's left here?
Remember, this is round robin football, so it can end in a draw.
Oh, he's left it out the wrong side. 2-point game.
Whitehall, Colmcille trying to work it up the park. They don't put up the sign to tell you how much injury time is being played here, so we're kind of guessing, but I imagine there'll be a lot of it.
Yeah, that's 7 wides that Castleknock have marked up, 4 in this second half. They may rue some of these depending on what happens here with Whitehall.
That's some run by Kearns. He was tugged back. It's a free in.
Pulled his arm. Costello looks like he's tracking over towards us to have a look at it. He'll put it down to the minimum. Is there enough time on the clock? That's the question. They're moving it quick.
He has obviously asked. Luke McCarthy. 3-14, that's 23 points. 2-15, that's 21. A goal to equalise it. But they'll take the point for now. And that's Eddie Moran. Well, I thought because Costello went across the field or played that free, that they were told, look, you don't have a whole pile of time. Maybe they have a bit more than we think.
What a sweet strike from Eddie Moran. Looked at ease coming across there, popped it over the bar. Lee Gannon was encouraging him to come, and Gannon delivered the goods. Big kick out. Can Falker stick his hands on this again?
Connolly goes straight enough. Rebounds around, falls kindly for Matt Moran.
They're going to get a chance.
Costello goes to ground. Free in.
Yeah, free in and black card. Now it's probably the right time to take a black card. Question is, does Costello stick it on the 45-metre line and pop it over the bar? Or does he look to shift it again? There's a heavy breeze into his face, probably coming back across the field. But Castleknock are going to finish it out, whatever is left, I imagine, with a black card. Maybe not, my mistake. Yellow
Kieran
card.
Murphy.
Certainly looked like he was in black card territory.
Well, I think because he didn't drag him to ground, or didn't go down with him, that probably helped. So Costello, I wonder, does he play it or drop it in? They're going to work it, and again, maybe they have asked how much time is left and realised there isn't enough to get a couple of scores. They have to get just the one, and that has to be a goal. Lee Gannon runs into a blue and gold wall, spills it, and the hands of Ger McDermott Rowe takes it. Lost again, spills out kindly for Whitehall Colmcille. The keeper has to get involved. Stephen Lawless. Ooh. Just about gets it under control. Lawless moves it off, turning his end to O'Donnell. Castleknock have a player down, or I beg your pardon, Whitehall, that's Lee Gannon. That's a genuine injury. You wouldn't be down from the Whitehall Colmcille point of view at the moment unless you were hurt. Juggling it in his hands is Endo O'Donnell.
Well, the referee is indicating free in. He wasn't, I don't think anyone was sure what the signal was on the back of his head. But definitely gives Whitehall a chance to tie this up. Lee Gannon certainly stays down. But such pressure on Castleknock to try and secure the ball. When they did win it, the pressure was reversed on them by Whitehall, and they forced themselves or squeezed themselves into position to look at tying up the game. Fifth minute of injury time played. Rob Shaw is trying to squeeze a yard out of Cormac Costello, forcing him backwards.
Castleknock 3-14, 23 points. Whitehall Colmcille 2-16, that's 22 points. One between them.
They've been well matched throughout. No one is going to be overly satisfied with a draw, but it probably is a fair result. But the pressure on Costello to tie it up, and then a question on, is there time left on the referee's watch?
Costello. Oh, it drops in. It's an absolute disaster for Castleknock. Cormac Costello has got some great goals in his time. That isn't one of them, but it's probably the biggest for his club.
He's allowing him to take the kick out again. Yeah, Cormac Costello, free drop short. I think there was a bit of indecision between goalkeeper and cornerback. Neither got their hand on it apart from to palm it into the net, and from a point down, They're 2 to the good.
And now
Referee still has his hand up, so I don't think he's allowed that kick out to happen. So it's back again for Castleknock. So is there time on the watch? Is there a chance for another goal from Castleknock? They've responded twice. Can they do it a third time? They're going to need to if they want to get anything from this game.
Well, we've had a few injuries in injury time, so no doubt that there is time. Well, they went from 1 point up to 2 points down, Castleknock, and they will wonder how. Owen O'Brien. It has to be a goal for Castleknock,
Yeah,
you feel.
I think, and he's going to give time for it too.
Tom Quinn bottled up. Owen O'Donnell back scrapping for the ball along with him. John Bridgman. It's all over, and Whitehall Colmcille go for looking from a draw to getting the win. They're 2 wins from 2 in the championship so far, and they've got 1 foot in the quarter-finals.
Oh, that's remarkable. What a finish to the game. 2 minutes off the 60-minute mark. It's 3:14, plays 2:14. They're a goal to the good. Free from Tony O'Sullivan, brings it back. Then one from play from Eddie Moore and has a point between the sides. Cormac Costello has a chance with what you think is the last kick of the game to tie it up. Bit of indecision on the goal line. Ball drops into the net from a point down to 2 points to the good. And when I was saying it'd be a fair result for a draw, I'm not quite sure if the fair result is a win for Whitehall.
Yeah.
Ball drops into the net. Castleknock will be heartbroken with the finish, given they worked so hard each time they did concede a goal. But what a second half, what an amount of scores. And Whitehall will be delighted the way it's finished up.
Well, it was one of those strange moments where Costello didn't catch the free right. He was probably thinking, we're going to lose now, and all of a sudden it drops into the net, and they went from looking for the draw to getting the win. You can see and hear what it meant to Whitehall Colmcille to win that one. Let's have a look at the vital moments of this game. This is the second half highlights.
Yeah, given how strong he had been from frees, I certainly was putting the house on him to knock them over, as was McDermott Rowe. Very solid across the second half for Castleknock. They went on a great spin where they kicked over. 4 points on the spin to the 37 minute. Across their forward line. Great performances from Kinlan. Inside line of Sawyer, and also from McDermott Rowe, both from play and from frees. Not enough pressure on the ball. You can see it here again from McDermott Rowe's score. He pushed it out. That was 1-11-10 after 37 minutes of play. Back came Whitehall with 2 of their own. Owen O'Donnell so strong inside. Clipped it over for his third of the day before a free from Costello. Narrowed the gap to 2 points. That was with 20 minutes left to play. Kinlan, who we mentioned, was hugging that sideline all the time. Managed to keep getting himself into space. Here he is coming through again. No real pressure coming from Whitehall. Loads of space, loads of time. Sails it over. And all of a sudden they're a goal to the good. But then that response that came, O'Donnell, Costello charging through, pops it off to O'Donnell, cuts back onto his right and sticks it into the corner of the net. And we've a tie game of 43 minutes, but not to be outdone. Castleknock turned it on their head. Great work by McDaniels. Ball is hoisted up here. Gannon putting pressure on. Just look at the reaction as the ball comes down from McDaniels. Gannon moving backward, McDaniels moving forward, pops it across the goal. Sawyer takes his time, nets it. And they go from draw game to back to being a goal in front, and they follow it up then with a great score from Tommy McDaniels. Costello again from place balls, brought it back to a goal. And centre forward, Sean Gannon. Again, Costello doing the hard work. Gannon coming through. We thought that one might have drifted wide, but it actually dropped over the bar. And then goal number 2. Great work as we watch O'Sullivan coming across here to palm it into the net. Puts them a point to the good, but once more, Castleknock not to be outdone. Anything you can do, we can do better. Working the play. Look at Stevenson where he starts. He's in the D there at the moment, keeps moving, picks up the ball, pops it across and go for the easy finish where he follows it up and bangs it into the net. 3:13, 2:14. Back come, there's the boot that just keeps the ball out. Big hit on the line that wins a 45. Drops short, and then McDermott Rowe sends another one over. They're a goal to the good. 58 minutes on the clock. Whitehall need 3 scores. Couldn't see them getting a goal. Big delivery inside. Great pace coming through here again from Costello. There's the hit.
The hit that we thought would have taken him out of the game, and they had signalled to get him off the park, but
They
he
had
stayed.
signalled, yeah. What a great decision to leave him on as the way the result has finished up. Lee Gannon on the ball here, punching a little hole. This is a great score from Eddie Moore, and just nonchalantly knocks it over the bar. That has it down to the minimum. That was in the 4th minute of injury time. And then the final play, as it was in terms of the result. Ball drops out in the wing. The right decision made to maybe put a stop on the play. I thought there was going to be a black card issue.
I think it was just yellow.
They played it short there, and then this one from Costello. Dropping short, he's cursing himself. No one calls it. Keeper gets a fist on it.
Connolly and Quinn on the line, and they will be thinking about that, I imagine, all
from
night.
From a point down to 2 to the good, 4 points on the board. That's a championship result that they couldn't have seen coming.
No, and it's 2 wins from 2 for Whitehall Colmcille, so they're looking good to get in to the next stage. Kilmacud Crokes have beaten Ballantyre St John's by 12 points to 8. That game going on at the same time as this. Don't go away, we've got more football to come. We've got Ballymun against Ballyboden, and well, quite frankly, it has a lot to live up to, Coleman, doesn't it?
Will we see that amount of scores in game 2? I'm not quite sure, but look, very open, very enjoyable game. We look forward to the next one.
Okay, I'm off to get an abacus and a calculator for the next game. My addition isn't as good as yours, but what I can tell you is that Whitehall Colmcille have somehow squeezed out the victory against Castleknock. They were going for an equaliser. In the end, Cormac Costello's free dropped short. Keeper got a fist on it but couldn't keep it out, and that has given them the win. It's not done for Castleknock, by the way. If they win their next game, they'll more than likely find their way into the quarter-finals. But the group will take more shape this afternoon, if that makes sense, because Round Towers of Lusk play Lucan Sarsfields, and the winner of that will be on 2 points, and they'll be 2 points behind Whitehall Colmcille and level with Castleknock. So still all to play for in this group in the Go Ahead Senior 1 Club Football Championship Group 4. As I say, the clash of Ballyboden, St Enda's and Ballymun coming up. You can join the conversation via hashtag GoAheadDSF1. We'd love to hear from you, and we'd love your company for the next game. So join us for that.